On this episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic, it's a little Labor Day laughs on Beyonce's birthday. Plus, we talk about DACA, Lil Flip, Hurricane Harvey, and more. On this episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic.
First of all, let me tell you something. Lamonte is just full of
Sometimes my mama said, you know, when you don't have nothing nice to say, you should be quiet.
People say that Stephen A. is a coon. You agree with that? Everybody got quiet on that one? Okay. Go ahead.
Rudy Giuliani practices voodoo. What? So he put a voodoo hex on my girl, Hillary, and that's why she got woozy. And the Secret Service had to prop her up and put her in the van.
But take us to a break, my dude.
It was voodoo, son.
I don't know about that voodoo.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome. This is Three Black Guys with a Mic. This episode of Three Black Guys with a Mic is being brought to you by Wendy's. Wendy's has changed the value game all over again. Today, grab yourself a 4 for $4. A juicy junior bacon cheeseburger or crispy chicken BLT, large fry, 4-piece nugget, and a drink. You can always get it fresh, never frozen, at a participating Wendy's. Offer not valid in Alaska and Hawaii. Now let's start the show. Lamont, I do got to ask you a question, though, before we get started. I think I'm gonna stop following you on Instagram. You my man. And I like following you. I like all your nice, bougie level posts and all your country club posts and all your prime rib posts and your Keto One post but every time I come to your Instagram page, it fails me. I mean, it always fails me. Now today, you out of all people, now Maynard, follow me on this. Lamont, out of all people, Maynard, king of the beehives, got a
no.
Wait, hold on, let me finish. Got a first class, black level membership to the beehive, and you ain't post no Beyonce birthday pictures. Michelle Obama put her Beyonce happy birthday picture up. Blue Ivy and Lamont Hayes ain't got no Beyonce picture up.
So can I defend myself properly?
I would really like, because I'm sure the Beehive is after you.
No, it's real simple. It's real simple. And if you look at my timeline, there's a little lapse in there of about 22 hours that I didn't post anything. And the reason why is because I am in New Jersey, which is probably about a good hour and maybe 20 minutes away from Philly. And if anybody who down with Beyonce know what went down in Philly over the weekend. So what I'm saying is I was in some areas that I couldn't have my phone around. You feel what I'm saying? I don't
think that's excusable. I still don't think that
I'm just letting you know
Cardi B got next to Beyonce, man.
I hear you, G, but I'm just telling you that there was some one-on-one interaction in some certain rooms that you can't put on Instagram. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh.
Hold on. Wait a minute now. Hold on.
I thought he just said he was in the Hamptons.
I did after I left.
Timeline story ain't adding up. Ain't adding up.
After I left MIA, you know what I'm saying? You can pay attention to certain things in the timeline.
Okay, so hold on. You were in MIA.
On Delta.
From MIA to Hampton.
Not on Spirit on $23 seats.
That's MIA to Hampton. What's that? 5?
I mean, there's a small regional airport, called East Hampton Airport. You know what I mean?
Teterboro.
Well, no, we didn't go to Teterboro. That's
Maynard.
No.
There we go. Now we know why the timeline don't add up. Him and Bow Wow was at Teterboro.
On charter. They chartered.
On a charter plane.
All I'm saying, bro, is listen, man. What did the old players used to say? What's understood doesn't have to be said. We can't say everything on Instagram. You know what I'm saying?
Not even happy birthday to the Queen. Not even happy birthday to the Queen.
Hey, man, she know what it is. September, baby, man. Mine coming up in a few days, so we okay.
So what you saying is that you gave her hers personal.
What I'm saying is that it wasn't necessary for me to put a happy birthday to the Queen Bee on my Instagram. That's all I'm saying.
Because you gave it personal. That's what Maynard was saying.
Personal.
Right. I didn't say that. I'm just
Wait
telling you.
Wait a minute. Maynard, didn't he say that Maynard, didn't he say he was in certain rooms? He said he was in certain rooms.
Yes, he did. Lamont, did you have to sign an NDA or something?
I'm just saying.
Oh, Spud.
Listen, I was just saying that.
Did you sign an NDA?
I was in a certain area at MIA, and if you don't know what MIA is, it's not Miami, and you didn't know what happened this weekend.
Mission in action.
Philly. No. I was in an area, where no cell phones is allowed. I mean, that's just how it worked.
You mean to tell me that in Philly, in Native America, there ain't no cell phone service?
No. I say service. I said no area. I was in an area where cell phones were not allowed.
This is a lot of backpedaling. There's a lot of backpedaling.
No.
Oh, wait a minute. So the people, the same security people at the Hard Rock Cafe with Dave Chappelle was the same people that was doing the Made in America, and they took your cell phones?
No, what I'm saying is there are certain common areas that Made in America, okay? if you buy a ticket, you know what I'm saying? It's all good. But if you have a certain pass and you're at a certain area where you can't buy a ticket to, sometimes you got to check the cell phones in, bro. It's simple. That's where we at in 2017.
That's how it goes down?
That's how it goes down, man.
Yo, I don't know if I want to. I mean, that time, the other night when I sat through Dave Chappelle's show for 4 hours and some change, I was like, I just wanted to know what time it was. I didn't know they were going to take my phone. I wanted to check and see if something had happened. And, I don't know if I'm ready to. I don't want to get upgraded to Lamont status, where you can't have your phone when you're around certain people.
So what you said is that
I'm gonna forego that level. I'm gonna forgive that. I'm gonna forego that level of success.
But here's a different question, though, Maynard. How is it that Cardi B got her picture with Beyonce, but Lamont didn't have his phone? Y'all got quiet on me.
No, watch this. Also, if you pay attention, Cardi B was in a common area. There's certain areas that are not common. There was some other things that you didn't see that went down at Made of America.
Okay, hold on. Can I say something?
Common areas, even for artists.
Let me say something then. Spud, if you watch the Zapruder film, you see that the president's head goes back. Back. It's a conspiracy or something. I don't know what's going on.
Wait, the shot came from the book.
It came from the book tower. But that's where Lee Harvey was.
Right.
However,
it wasn't on the grassy knoll. It was not on the grassy knoll.
Back and to the left. Back.
You know what?
Some kind
I'm gonna let y'all. You know what? It's Labor Day. I'm gonna let y'all have this.
It's Beyonce's birthday, baby. It's Beyonce's birthday.
Hey man, one time for Beyonce, man. Happy birthday.
Magic phone that Cardi B had.
You said what?
Cardi B had the magic phone, and you had the back and to the left special phone.
No, well, you know what? Let me say this too. Is Cardi B's out here shuffling because she only got about 7 minutes left.
What?
Out of her 15.
She's got an album deal. She's going to put on an album. She just released her album date in February with Atlantic.
I'm just, I know that's great. I'm just telling you.
Why y'all can't let Cardi B? She got a #1 record.
No, it's not #1. Let's be clear. No. Didn't make #1 yet.
They already announced it in Billboard that it was #1. So next week, you're probably going to be looking at #1.
Now watch this. #1 on what chart? Now, if you want to play with the Spotify chart and X, Y, and Z, but #1 in terms of airplay, it's not there yet.
God, why can't Cardi B shine on this podcast? Why can't Cardi B shine on this podcast?
No.
But Cardi B is in trouble because Cash Me Outside got her single out, and she is coming for that. She is coming.
She figured Cardi B can do it. I can do it.
Hello?
Well, I do have an announcement. Since Cardi B has gained this traction, my announcement is that I have been in the studio.
Woo!
You're first, America. You're first.
Jay Hicks, look out. Nate Bell, look out. Kobe Cole, look out. Here come the shuffling. Here come the real shuffling.
Can I just be the hype man, Lamont?
Hey, man, we working on it. I'm gonna let you talk to my manager and we can see what's going on.
I want to be all in the videos.
Right. Sheesh, Manish, man.
Probably not there yet.
Welcome to another episode of Three Black Guys with the Mic. It is Labor Day. It's Beyonce's birthday. I don't even know which one it is. Is it Beyonce's birthday or is it Labor Day? Which one should we celebrate more? I mean, gosh, that's a good question. Should we be barbecuing for Beyonce's birthday or should we be barbecuing for Labor Day? Well, since Labor Day has been around long before Beyonce's birthday, we probably should be turning up for Labor Day. So we just gonna kind of kick it, but I do have to ask this question though, Maynard. This is to you. I want to keep this very, very, very light today. But let me ask you, we got I don't know how long they got, right? The Dreamers are in trouble. And the president is coming for the Dreamers. He's trying to get rid of DACA. Of course, we all know his MO is to get rid of everything that President Barack Obama has done. Are you for DACA or are you against DACA? Do you think that immigrants in this country should be allowed to stay in the United States under DACA, or do you think that the president has it right by deporting immigrants who are not legal citizens of the United States?
Well,
Ooh, I know that was heavy. I knew that was heavy.
Illegal immigration is illegal, right? And if you just don't get into the emotion, don't get into looking at how cute this little girl is and just she's doing a great job. Don't get into any of that. And you ask yourself this. If you paid, you live in Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
You got a son.
Right.
You pay taxes in Michigan.
Right.
Right. And your son decide, man, Dad, I got myself in the University of Michigan. You like, great. Now you pay taxes for the University of Michigan and we got to pay tuition.
Right.
And your son is in there. You didn't pay the tuition and everything is good. He's in class. And somebody who doesn't even belong to the university, who's not been accepted, just decides to sit in the class. Now, he may never get a degree, but he's sitting there taking up time in class.
Right.
Is that fair to you, the taxpayer and the tuition payer? And would you want him to stay in class or would you want him to be asked to leave?
Are you asking me that, or is that rhetorical?
Yeah, I'm asking you that.
I'm saying I would think that person should have to pay the same way that I have paid.
Okay. Well, there's your answer then. That's your
But
answer.
I asked you. That's my answer. I'm asking you your answer. That's what we do on this show. We debate these conversations.
I think that
you got a master's degree. If somebody who was sitting in your master's program was from another country, over here sitting in your class, tuition free, while you busting your butt, working 2 jobs and robbing Peter to pay Paul to pay tuition to get your master's degree, and somebody over here is over in the United States illegally.
allegedly I robbed Peter.
Allegedly. Okay. Regardless of however you pay
I never
for it.
paid Paul.
We know nobody ever pays Paul.
Paul
We always
got
rob
shorted.
Peter. Right. We
Paul got
always rob
shorted.
Peter, though. We always rob Peter. Peter always gets stuck up. But would you want for somebody to be sitting next to you in the graduation class, walking across the stage, who did not pay the same dues you have paid to go and get a master's degree?
Well, I think as long as you just keep it real basic on the rules alone, then that person should be asked to leave, right?
Okay,
but sometimes
go
the
to the
rules.
surface. Go deeper in the surface.
So I had a conversation with somebody today about this. If there are these things that, or there's a scenario people call them anchor babies, and I think that's derogatory. That people move to America or immigrate to America legally or illegally and have children, and Donald Trump once posited that America doesn't have to accept that as an American citizen. And that's, to me, that's false on its face. If you came out of the womb on this soil here, on American soil, you're American. That's all that's to that. So those people who are children who were born in America, unless their parents otherwise want something different from them, like if you were traveling and you were from France and both your parents were French and they came to America to travel, and you just happen to be born in that time space, and your parents are like, no, thank you very much, but we want to keep our French citizenship for our child. I get that. But if you come here and you have a child here, that child is an American. That's all there is to that. Now, if they brought their Mexican child or their Guatemalan child or their German child who was 5 years of age to America somehow illegally, it's more complicated.
I don't know if I agree with that. I feel where you're going, but if I am an illegal alien, right? If I'm an immigrant of the United States and I have been over here and I have been living in America for a year and I have a baby, that baby was just born in America.
No,
right? Because I have no citizenship.
That's not the law, but that's not the law.
All that's required. That's all that's required.
That's it. If that baby comes out on American soil, that baby is an American citizen.
That's all that's required right there.
All day, baby. All day.
Birthright citizenship, baby. And can run for president.
All day.
Hey,
mom and daddy might be in trouble, though.
Not at first. I mean, 35 years have to pass, you know. Can't be like goo goo gaga. Yes, we can.
Right. No.
But yeah.
Like you said, and then like you said, Maynard, or mom and daddy in trouble, but that baby is okay.
But the baby, but are you for the kids going back even if they've been over here? They need to go.
If the child was not born here and is a citizen of another country, and the parents brought that child here illegally, the rules state,
yes,
you got to go back. I mean, look, Spud, you live in Michigan. Michigan got a hard line. It's around it. You know, you got the Lake Michigan over there on one side. You got Canada to the north. No, whatever. You got Ohio and Indiana and all that. People who live in Indiana are Indianans or whatever you call them, and you Michigander, and we got a line. This is America. You cross the line, you're no longer in America. Are we going to say, it don't matter? Anybody can come here, all day long. Doesn't matter, because I was in Japan earlier this summer, and you can't immigrate to Japan. They're not playing that. You can't just be like, oh, I'm just going to stay. They're going to come. Mr. Scales, you have overstayed your welcome, sir.
But again, that's not still a country that was based upon that immigrant philosophy, because there was this one thing that I like to call forced immigration that me and a lot of my people, we were a part of. You know what I'm saying?
You're referring to slavery, sir?
So that's just how we rock out.
or as Ben Carson would say, internships.
Internships. You know what I'm saying? We were part of that immigration program. But I hear what you're saying, Maynard, is that, but this country allegedly was based upon the philosophy of immigration and it being pretty much come one, come all. But we seem to be in this space right now where we're trying to control, as some would say, the flow of immigrants, which is why we have, this particular scenario and other things that you talked about earlier with just overall illegal immigration, because you could just come, squat, chill, and fall into, oblivion. And I actually learned a lot coming up to the northeast part of the country, how a lot of people will come in on a certain kind of visas. And again, they will just kind of just blend into the society and, nobody ever come look for them.
So, Lamonte, do you think those people should go back?
Well, see, I'm a little different. I'm
Whoa, different from what? Because I haven't really said that this is my opinion. I'm just saying, if you look at the rules, I'm trying to stay away from looking at cute little baby lordess.
And that's what I was gonna say. Because I'm like Trick Daddy. Trick love the kids. I mean, you just can't send a baby or a child or as this, and you got to be careful, I guess, when you say child or childhood, as they're trying to use that term. But it's like, you can't, and I don't care what nationality you're from. A baby is a baby. We as adults, I feel like we're supposed to be here to protect these babies. You know what I'm saying?
But how these babies are supposed to, but that means that the parents have to stay.
Well, maybe not.
So what we gonna do? Adopt all the babies now? You willing to? Are you bringing? You got extra rooms in Bergen County. You willing to put immigrant babies in your house?
No, we're not doing that. I told you I just came back from the Hamptons, bro. If I had to do the baby thing,
selfish.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God, selfish.
I would have had, you know what I'm saying? I would have had to, be at the local city park beach, with the baby.
Right.
I'm not ready for that.
You would have to be at Coney Island.
Yeah, I'm good on that. And no disrespect to Coney Island. Coney
Right.
Island's hot.
But wait a minute.
that
I
ain't
mean,
what
I mean, it's not like Diddy or Russell Simmons don't take his kids to, the Hamptons. They take
I
their
hear
kids
you,
to the
but-
Hamptons all the time.
Listen, man, these are immigrant babies, and we love them, but they're not ready.
Whoa.
They're
Yo.
not ready for that.
I'm not sure exactly
I'm
how we
going.
got here, but I can tell you these are immigrant
Views
babies.
and opinions of Lamont Hayes. Not the views and opinions of three black guys with the mic.
I'm just saying
Oh,
that the babies
gosh.
might not be ready for that. Well, we were doing adult.
So that means you're saying that they
no.
should go back.
No,
Listen,
they got to go
I
somewhere.
can't go right now. If I took my son right now, who was born in 1992, right, and let me not use that example. If I had a kid 6 years old, right, and we moved to Paris, I'd have to have legal citizenship to live in Paris. I can't go to another country and live there without being a citizen of that country. If you're not a citizen of America,
No. Hold on. Let's make. There are other methods of living places. So you need a visa, maybe, or you can.
if I'm
you
working.
can live on a. You can live on a green card or a visa. Things, or you could, be invited. So
if I
there are
don't
people
have
who-
those things.
Okay,
At the end of
I'm
the
just
day,
making
the bottom
sure.
line, that's cool, and thank you for correcting me because we want to definitely be clear and make sure that we're factual. But if I don't have any documentation of me being any sort of work-related or married to somebody that requires for me to have a green card, anything, I can't pack up right now and take me and a 6-year-old or a 12-year-old to another country and live. Why should that happen in the United States? Why isn't President Trump right on DACA?
Lamont.
I don't want to hear from Lamont because he's already just said that on the baby. He ain't messing with
I mean, I didn't
he
want
ain't
to say
got
that,
no
but
compassion for immigrant babies. Maynard, he don't have
I
no
told you,
compassion for
no,
little
the
immigrant
babies
babies.
can come, but they just can't stay at my house.
Goodness
But
gracious.
their mamas and daddies got to go back. Their
So
mamas and daddies got to go back.
They got to go. If they
The
want to leave the
mamas and
baby
daddies
here,
got to
the
go
baby
back,
can stay.
and the babies can stay with no
the babies
parenting
stay.
or no guidance. So that means, just like we were brought over here, against our will, they got to stay in this country against their will to be raised by another nationality. They're going to lose their identity in the whole 9 yards.
Hey, that happened to my people. Come on now.
Oh, my
It wasn't so bad. What do you mean?
Whoa. Yo, I
hell?
don't know.
This is Beyonce's birthday. This is definitely not Labor Day.
I don't know, but
Where
let
we
me
going?
say this for our sponsorship from Wendy's and our future sponsors. Lamont is not tacitly endorsing the concept of slavery or benefits that were received thereof. We don't endorse slavery. I'm just
I didn't say we endorse slavery. I'm just saying,
saying it's real slippery at where you were. That's
You
all.
are you've been backpedaling this entire episode so far.
Listen, man.
Don't push
threw
me
me off with the
because
Beyonce. That's where I'm
Listen,
I'm
I know
back
you
on track.
I know you're on your 21-day fast, and you on carrots and cucumbers now, and you're not drinking
Yes.
no Kettle One. You might need to go and press the the intercom system and have somebody buzz you up a Kettle One and OJ.
You know what? I think you might actually. Honestly, you might be right. And I hate to do this while we live on the podcast here, but I need y'all to do me. Just give me 1 second. I'm bugging up here.
you hate to do it while we live. You did it last week. You were KO'd up last week.
Hey, I need a favor. We're live on the podcast right now, and I'm kind of in trouble. So can you send up a Kettle One and OJ for me?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Man.
just shake it up really well. Thanks.
You got to shake it up. Oh, and don't forget the ice cube because you got to have the ice cube.
Oh, no. Absolutely. No,
Oh,
we
that
good.
just comes
we good.
standard.
Hey, yo,
Yeah,
so
Ted.
Lamont, so that was who is that? Lordess's mother, or is that Consuelo? You got some illegals up in there, Lamont? What's going on, my dude?
Yo, my G, we'll talk about that offline. These mics is hot right now.
We're going to get kicked off this podcast. Wendy's, we are so sorry. We are still in your corner. Please do not take this episode and drop us, like you do, the people at Fox News.
Wendy's is be fire on Twitter. I mean, they be clapping on people on Twitter.
Yeah, one time.
Who, Wendy's?
Wendy's does not play on Twitter. Like somebody was like, I don't know. like at Wendy's. I don't know if well, McDonald's has a 5 for $5 and Wendy's has a 4 for $4. Which do you think is better? And Wendy's just claps back real strong, like, you know what? Go to McDonald's and get your 5 for $5. And when you're healthier afterwards, come and get our food. Like Wendy's is serious. Wendy's does not play. I want to say some of the stuff they say, but I'm afraid that Wendy's might get at me, and I don't want that.
Yeah, we don't need no problems. We truly appreciate Wendy's for the sponsorship of this podcast, and we're gonna leave it at that. Let's just switch over to Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball said that Nas is not hip hop. Lamar, I gotta go to you because Migos, those are your people. You are in love with Migos. You are a fan of Migos. Lonzo Ball said that Nas is not hip hop, and Future and Migos are real hip hop. I said this before. Migos, Future, they're not for us, but to the newer generation, they hip hop. Lonzo Ball out of line, or is he right?
I mean, of course, we all know that he's out of line. He even knows he's out of line. What he's doing is that family, when they wake up in the morning, they have their cornflakes, they just all pour like a little bit of stupidity in their food and their breakfast. So they all the whole family just say things that are just idiotic. I mean, it makes no sense. Even no matter what you may feel about Nas's creativity, but Nas' historic contribution to this thing that we call hip hop, you got to give it to him. One thing I saw over the weekend, and I'll be the first to say it, I wasn't the biggest fan of the Juice Crew. I wasn't the biggest fan of Craig G. I wasn't the biggest fan of Marley, and Roxanne. I rock with him, but I understand
Master Ace.
I really didn't like him, but I understand their contribution.
Wow, what?
Yeah, that wasn't my thing. Nah, I'm good. God bless the brother, but that just wasn't in my take deck. You know what I'm saying? So for me to say that just because I didn't like those guys and they wasn't hip hop, that makes me just look stupid. So the same with this guy. I mean, I think
let me just say, don't. First of all, you disrespected my era just a little bit,
right? And I threw that at you.
Hold on, and let me just
really
make certain.
be riding they jock like that. You know what I'm saying?
Let me just make certain that you recognize the greatness, because you couldn't name a lot, and I get it, I understand, but I mean, G-Rap, come on, you couldn't rock out with Cool G-Rap.
Listen, man, what did Chris say? Chris said the bridge is over. When Chris told me that the bridge was over, that's all I had to hear. Is that not what Chris said? Is that not? But I'm sorry. I mean, everybody's quiet on Three Black Guys. What did KRS-One say?
What did that have to do with Cool G-Rap?
All I'm saying is
with Big Daddy Kane.
When Homeboy said what he said in that era, and then later on, Nas came back, then I was like, okay, the bridge is back.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
Hold on, though. But remember, see that Juice Crew is not exclusive Queens.
I got you. But
KRS-One did say the Juice Crew is, you're still telling lies to me. He did call out the Juice Crew, though.
Exactly. Come on, man. And I was a cheerleader. I had the pom-poms, the shimmy skirt, the letters that said KRS-One. That was me. BDP.
Come on.
The tutu. Whoa, hold on for a second. We got some conversations. And you understand that you are Beehive exclusive.
Yeah, no doubt.
You had the pom-poms and the shimmy skirt?
And the tutu on.
Listen, man. Listen, rest in peace to Scholar Rock. Listen, man, come on. You cannot, and to me, at that time, if I had to choose sides, I was on, the BDP side. But again, let's stay where we're supposed to stay, and let's stay on the ball boys.
I'm sorry. I got to go back to that, because the problem is and then we really have to debate this, because you're basically saying that one man destroyed an entire crew, and that is to be debated. You're saying basically that because there's no one else in Boogie Down Productions that had anything except for Chris. Miss Melody didn't have anything. D Nice didn't really have anything. So you're basically saying that one man destroyed an entire crew. Marley Marl, Cool G-Rap, Big Daddy Kane, Biz Markie. You're saying one man destroyed the entire Juice Crew?
He asked me, man, in my tape deck, yes.
Ooh.
At that time, in my tape deck, yes. Even right now on my Tidal playlist, shout out to Tidal, is all KRS-One from the beginning all the way up to his last couple independent releases that he had that they got the license deal on Tidal. Yes.
Let's go back to LeVar Ball then, because I'm finished. This
You out of gas? Man?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's one thing to say what you said and to say for you. I understand that. And also, revisionist history. Remember, he dissed Shan. Shan's deal was done. After he dissed Shan, do we not remember that Symphony came out? Do we not remember Cool G Rap's Rose to the Riches album was out?
I hear you, G, but I'm just telling you.
Hold on, whoa! Ill Street Blues on Road to the Riches. Do you not remember? These are monsters. So just to say to Spud's point, no, he didn't destroy the crew. Shan might not have really been able to breathe real good. He took some body blows. He took a finish me fatality blow. I get that. But
he might have knocked out Master Ace too. I give Master
one
Ace
by
MC
one.
Shan. I give MC Shan and Master Ace. I can't give you Big Daddy Kane.
No, Kane. I mean, I get it.
Kane is dope for Kane was not a first. No, Kane wasn't even a part of the Shan KRS dissing. Right. That wasn't. No, Kane was dopeness and remains among the top rhymers of all time. Top 10.
Okay. And
Wait,
I got
better
you.
than Chris though?
No, hell no.
I said he remains among the top 10 rhymers.
You didn't answer
of
the
all
question
time.
though. But better than Chris though.
It's debatable.
Hell no. Hell no. No.
Man, you got quiet.
I said it's debatable.
That's what we do. We debate. We got quiet. That's what we want you to do. Debate it out. Is Big Daddy Kane better than Chris?
Hell no.
Let's finish the LeVar Ball thing, because I haven't had a chance to address that yet, and I want Lamonte to finish because he's been talking for
It's Lonzo Ball, not LeVar.
I'm sorry, Lonzo, right.
You know what, fellas? I just need y'all to know that my Kettle One was just delivered, so we good to go now.
Cheers.
I don't know if you can hear the ice, that was properly placed into the glass. We're good.
I just am really. Here's the crazy thing: is I'm more amazed that you really honestly have an intercom system and you really had that buzzed up.
Hey man, don't tell nobody, man. That's between us. I mean, you said I was dropping the ball out here. We losing sponsors, so I had to make sure I got me a cocktail.
Okay, good. I'm glad you're back on your on your diet. I'm glad you're back on your diet. I'm glad you're back on the diet, on the right diet. All right, go back to Lonzo Ball.
Maynard?
Oh, it's me.
You lost everything else. I mean, because I just said. We all know that what he said is ludicrous. I mean, it makes no sense.
Now, so hold on. Let me say this, Lamont. Don't shoot at me. Don't shoot at me. Let's go back to where we need to be shooting. This foolishness that he has said, along with Cash Me Outside's joint, is the Cardi B-ism of the culture.
Oh, wait a minute.
The reason why I said in episodes 1, 2, 3, all the way through
1 through 40.
Right. The reason why I said what I said about you have to respect the old school and you have to keep it where you have to keep the arguments in line is because if you say greatest, for instance, greatest of all time, or if you say this is hip hop or this is not hip hop, you got to measure it against all of it. You can't just be like, well, this is the greatest of all time as long as you're just talking about the past 6 months. And then what happens is we start revising. This cat is saying that arguably one of the top 5 rappers, or at least in the top 10, Nas, isn't hip hop and is not worth listening to. And he is replacing Nas with Migos and who was the other Future. And I'm sorry, but if you want to talk about like, there's this other music genre, because I don't really think that this genre is anything like what hip hop is, then Future is the man. And Migos is great. That's wonderful. That's great. But if you're talking about hip hop and you're talking about this culture, and that's like saying, well, we got some great leaders, and Barack Obama is the greatest black leader ever, and someone says, well, what about Martin Luther King? Like, man, ain't nobody trying to hear about no Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King? Ain't nobody trying to hear about no Martin Luther King.
What's the Boondocks episode? The Boondocks episode with Uncle Ruckus. He was like, I've been throwing bricks at your marching ass in 1967.
So you know what I'm saying? He's, and that's why I don't like having arguments with people about hip hop who don't know anything about hip hop.
Woo!
I gotta give you that one, Maynard. You're right. There's nothing you can say. But you do have to include Migos and Future as part of the hip hop culture. It's just a little bit more present day. But,
and that's fine, right? I'm fine with that. But again, that's people are out here like when you say greatest of all time, or you start ranking people, you got to rank them. And if before you can bump one of the greats out and replace the great name with a new person, we got to qualify that. Is Future, particularly when it comes to rappers, is Future dope? Not does Future have a dope song. Right. It's a difference. MC Hammer had a lot of dope records that did great, huge numbers, but is he really a dope rhymer? MC Brains had Oochie Coochie La La La. It was a big record.
Classic.
Not classic.
Yeah, I gotta go with Maynard again. Not classic.
But
classic.
It did at the moment it dropped. If the moment it dropped, it did big numbers and people loved it. And all that. Young MC had the Bust a Move joint, which I hated, but Marvin did big numbers with that. But would you put him in the top 10? Would you put him in the top 25? Would you put Young MC in the top 50 rhymers of all time? So ask yourself, can we put Future in place of Nas right now? Because that's ultimately what the ball boy is trying to advocate for, that Future and Migos should replace Nas on the all-time list.
Well, again, I mean, let's just put it in this box, Maynard. We've all done things at a very young age that we have to just blame on our youth. Certain things that were just plain stupid. And I think we got to put him in that box with this right here.
But let me ask you this. I mean, so let's go back to Maynard's point in regards to, the replacement part. All right. So, I think I've said this, a couple of times on this podcast. Is this a case of not understanding the past, right? Because Alonzo Ball's 19, 20 years old. He's 19 years old. So he doesn't know anything about Nas. He can't really see what Nas's footprint has been in hip-hop. He's not a hip-hop artist. He's a basketball player. Not necessarily say that that's excusable. However, but looking at his age, is he looking now to Future and Migos the same way we looked at Nas when we were that age?
Is that for Lamont or for me?
Anybody.
Lamont, would you mind if I jumped in here, sir?
I mean, I was scratching and trying to, get mine in, but I guess if you want to go ahead and take a stab, my brother.
The thing is, when Nas dropped, and you're talking about people like us. So when Nas came out, we had the benefit of knowing about hip hop. If you didn't know about Kool Herc, if you didn't know about Ultra Mag, if you didn't know about Grandmaster Flash, if you didn't know about some of those artists, you still knew, at least you heard of them and you seen and heard from some of the biggest at the time. So when Nas dropped and you are 17 or 22 years of age, you know about Run DMC, you know about LL Cool J, and so you have a lens through which to speak. You could talk about it. Now, I didn't see Babe Ruth play, but all my life I heard that Babe Ruth hit more home runs than anybody up until Hank Aaron. And I didn't see Hank Aaron play but once or twice, maybe. I don't even think I saw Hank Aaron play. But then I knew that he was the baddest man ever until Barry Bonds. So, but if you were to come to this conversation and say, Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player, he hit more home runs than anyone ever, and that just makes him better than all other people out there. And then you never heard of Hank Aaron, and you never heard of Willie Mays, and you never heard of Josh Gibson or Satchel Paige, et cetera, then you don't know what you're talking about, and you need to, especially if you want to be like, for instance, on ESPN and be some kind of commentator, or you put yourself in the public eye. Lonzo Ball has by being a ball player, and you got X many hundreds of thousands or millions of Twitter followers. You need to speak more intelligently. You need to make sure that whatever you say, that you can support and you can defend that.
Okay.
So can we blame the dad?
Yeah, probably.
And you know what? I think you should. Here's what I was gonna say, Maynard, is that I remember as a child, there were certain records that my parents used to play. I didn't get it back then like I get it now. For example, like I didn't really get Earth, Wind, and Fire when I was 12 or 14 because I was listening to Dougie Fresh. I was listening to Run DMC, so I thought that music was their music. But my issue is with him and other people is that I never, ever, ever was disrespectful in my tone
True.
about Rolls Royce, about the Daz Band, about Lakeside. I was like, nah, that's cool, but I want to hear Eric B. and Rakim. You know what I'm saying? So if anything else about the LeVar Ball and his foolishness is that, like, his dad needed to tell him, yo, my man, we need to be a little bit more respectful, but he's on a clown show anyway. You know what I'm saying?
He's the clown leader. He is
exactly.
This is
LeVar Ball. That man got his sons out there making shoe money.
Let me tell you something.
Who got that shoe? You got that shoe, Spud?
You got it?
I got that shoe.
Jay-Z said he bought 3 pair and he still ain't seen them. He said it. So, I mean, just because he's playing ball or bouncing the ball and putting it in a hoop and having a foreign-made company make a shoe and he charging people $500 for it, to me, that's not something to be applauded for because I'm curious, what is his academics looking like? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he going to do? Because statistically, you only get so many years in basketball. After that, then what happens? We going to go back and be a clown like my dad? Nah, I'm good. You take a sip.
Flavor Flav. Why is Flavor Flav suing PE, man?
Oh man, this is all
Flavor
bad.
Flav need money. Flavor Flav need money like that for real? That he got to sue his mans in them?
I'm certain he probably does.
Lamar, you know Flavor Flav. What's up with Flavor Flav?
Hey man, can I plead the fifth?
Uh-oh. Flavor Flav got a record coming out?
I just want to plead the fifth, man. I don't. You know how I say we need to stay out of white folks' business? I mean, this is Chuck. This Flav. I mean, we don't know what went down back in Long Island. I don't know. When I saw that, I just said this is going to be bad. You know what I'm saying?
Spud, so Flav is suing Chuck for some monies. Can you have any more backstory you want to share so that people, because a lot of folks may not know.
Flavor Flav basically is saying that, let me just read it to you. Flavor Flav's lawyer on Tuesday said alleged, despite that, Flavor Flav position in Public Enemy, that the group's management is related companies have for years attempted to minimize his role in Public Enemy, and basically his voice was used on some records and they put that out, and so he's basically suing them for copyright for 50 songs or so that Flavor Flav was on. And Chuck D is like, I have absolutely no idea what Flavor Flav is talking about. That's the gist of it.
And, I'll say this. Like Lamont said, nobody knows who said what, did what, promised to what. I'm going to tend to side with Chuck. That Chuck has seemingly been, from what I've known of watching him, following Public Enemy, that Chuck has seemingly been the kind of upstanding, sober-speaking person.
Discrimination.
And Flav has been the person that sober speaking. I said sober speaking. Like I've never heard Chuck. I've never seen Chuck act wild. I've never seen Chuck, crash. Flav has had his share of, very public wrecks. And
like what? Flavor of Love?
Well, now what was the one before that? It was the Surreal House when he and Bridget Nielsen.
Yeah.
And then he and Bridget Nielsen had a show. and then Flavor of Love, and then Flavor of Love 2. Was there a 3?
Yeah, there's 3.
I'm sorry, my dude. I apologize.
What you apologizing for? Because now he's an upstanding citizen because he had Flavor of Love 3. He had 3 episodes of Flavor of Love.
No. I'm apologizing to you. I know it's
apologize to me. What you apologizing to me for? I wasn't on Flavor of Love.
I was about to say, do we got to talk about something? It's something I don't know.
I don't. Yeah. If they do, I might need to be suing Flavor Flav for the royalties I didn't get paid for if I missed that.
You might want to.
I might need to go back and look at those episodes.
Yeah. Follow suit.
Do we want to give Donald Trump some props today? I mean, he donated $1 million. He pledged $1 million to Harvey. Do we give him a round of applause?
And what you got? Because he winning out here, G. He winning.
I wonder if he pledged $1 million to Harvey or to the victims of Harvey, because I think he might mess around and be like, "Yo, that was dope. Do it again." No, he's still not winning though, because he's looking. All that tough talk he had for North Korea. Now he's sitting there like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. This can't. We ain't gonna stand for it. North Korea was like, all right, then y'all can sit down and watch this missile go over Japan.
Common said he's reaching for the bunker. Common was like, yo, North Korea is a threat. I'm reaching for the bunker, man.
Props.
Is North Korea a threat? Because a couple episodes back, you said that they weren't a threat.
I was wrong then. North Korea is wild.
Whoa. We not. Whoa, Maynard. We are not going to brush by that Playboy. Whoa.
You backpedaling. You backpedaling.
Wait, Spud. Wait.
Statements.
Spud. Let me get this real quick. Hold on, man. Maynard, are you saying that you were incorrect about North Korea?
Yo, I was wrong. North Korea is wild. Yo, Kim Jong, whichever Kim this is, he like Debo. He out here taking chains. He going through pockets.
Kim Jong-un was like, listen, man, Donald Trump, you all cool and all that, but listen, man, we got missiles over here.
What you got on my missiles, homie?
You can talk all that tough talk if you want to, but we got missiles. And no matter what you say, we're going to keep creating them until they reach over there. So we're going to be the threat.
I mean, do I think that they going to hit America? Nah. And you know what? You don't have he might never hit nothing. But you can't keep sending missiles over Japan like it's all good. Like, yo, I mean, think about this. Something went down. He shot a missile up over a portion of Japan, and the air horns in Japan went off, and people had to I'm old enough, and I think Lamont, you probably have experienced this once or twice in your life. But like in second grade, they were like, okay, this is a drill. Like you had to get under your desk and.
No sir, no sir. I don't. I'm not old enough for that, man. I don't remember that.
All right,
sir.
well.
Yeah, but he did also grow up in an area that, does have bulletproof glass on the door. That routine probably just wasn't, it wasn't a practice. It was just kind of like, oh, we hear that all the time.
Yeah, that's what we do.
It's just,
Those just air horns.
So, imagine that you living in Japan, essentially terrorized, or South Korea being terrorized. Like, every time you come out the house, the kid from across the street just be like, I'm going to kick your ass. You got to go the other way. You got to like walk the long way or something. At some point, somebody got to do something about this.
So you're saying that both kids are on the playground going around in a circle saying, I bet you won't hit the stick off my shoulder.
Is that what you're saying, man?
I bet you won't bump my shoulder again.
Nah. One kid is saying, knock it off my shoulder. The other kid is saying, I'm trying to go the other way. Japan is sitting there in the middle like, we don't have a military no more. We really ain't got
the other way because
Japan.
Oh, I thought you were talking about America because I was gonna say Kim Jong-un is like, yo, I'm coming, and President Trump is like, I got fire and fury for you.
Yeah, all that fire and fury. What he got now? Man, what they
A stick on the shoulder, waiting for somebody to, tap
they
it
say
off.
make your words short and
And
sweet.
then he gonna say, then he gonna pick the stick up and say, "I bet you won't do it again."
Right. I wasn't looking.
I wasn't looking. I bet you won't
It
do
don't
that
count.
again.
It don't count. It don't count.
Man, you got a cactus this week? Who you giving a cactus to? Or you let this one ride because it's Labor Day?
I did have a cactus, but I am going to let it ride. But let me just share a couple of things. I want to give some preliminary cactuses, if you will, like some like you could get a cactus to. I'm going back.
Cactus is on the rise.
Right. I'm going back to last week's cactus, so to speak. So Harvey hit Houston, and people were in trouble, and Trump didn't fly to Houston. And rightfully so. He said, listen, I don't want to be on the ground. I can only create more havoc. The motorcade has to have, 60 police escort vehicles or whatever the case may be. And he's like, look, I'm going to stay over here. I'm going to meet with the governor, the mayor, or whatever can come to meet with me over here in Texas. And I get that. I'm not criticized. Somebody went and put a picture of Barack Obama and one of his daughters serving food to people. At least it was entitled Serving Food to People in Houston. But it wasn't. I don't understand why people will just, and then it had like 3 million likes. Oh, look at Barack. He's doing a great job when Trump isn't even in Houston. Barack wasn't in Houston doing that. Not to say anything bad about Barack. I'm saying, people, please, when you get ready to post something and somebody sends you a picture of Barack Obama, throwing a baseball, don't be like, yo, he's a world famous pitcher. No, he was just throwing the first ball out or something like that. Do your research before you put stuff on the internet because you look real stupid. You look real dumb. And I'm not giving you a cactus. Y'all know who y'all are with y'all fake posting selves.
That's the same post that people were. I saw one where they were saying that black folks were standing outside of Houston, not letting people in, and they were claiming that it was Black Lives Matter out there standing next to each other, not letting white people into Houston to help. And it wasn't even Black Lives Matter. It's like, the internet is a savage, man. The internet has no friends at all. I mean, the internet is savage.
No chill zone.
It's just like no chill bone at all. And it's like, you're right. Like, where do you guys get this information from? Like, people just repost anything. It doesn't even, no research, no facts, information, or anything like that. It's just crazy.
Lil Wayne running for president.
Right. Shout out to Lil Flip, though. Lil Flip from Houston, he defended Donald Trump. Gave Donald Trump some props. He said at least he did come down here.
T-Rump out here winning, son. He winning.
He winning because Lil Flip endorsed him.
That's what Lil Flip said. I didn't say that, Maynard. That's what Flip said. He said T-Rump is winning.
Yo, what's Flip got on the air right now, Lamont?
Not nothing. So
wait. When was the last time Lil Flip had something on the air?
Right.
I don't know. It's been over 10 years, I think.
But Lil Flip said Trump, all right. So I'm rolling with Trump because Lil Flip say Julio and Raimundo say I'm gonna be something like.
Whoa. Who was Raimundo? Who was that?
You know what I'm talking about, right, Spud?
Yeah, come on, man.
Oh no, you don't remember Bait, Lamont?
I have no idea what you're talking about, sir.
Fox and Mike Epps.
You didn't see Bait?
You didn't see Bait?
No, I don't watch that kind of programming, sir. No, sir.
It was a movie.
No, that kind of programming, I don't let that come into my spirit. No, sir.
What do you watch? 6 Degrees from Separation in your house?
Actually, you know what? I'm
on Masterpiece Theater type. Look, guys, you know what? Let me tell you on the low. I got the best thank you card from Lamont this past Christmas when I sent him the damn Medea box set. He loves that stuff, man. He ain't seen me.
Yo, my dude, you wasn't supposed to be telling the world that, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I bootlegged them, so it doesn't matter, right?
Hey, man, now wait a minute now. Let Tyler Perry win out here. Let Tyler Perry win out here.
What is Tyler Perry up to right now? What is he up? I mean, we know he got all the stuff.
He got the Medea Boo coming out, part 2.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah. He figured,
Wasn't it enough?
He figured last year he beat out Nate Parker in Birth of a Nation. He was the #1 movie last year. He figured Nick Rose is going to go and watch it again. A Madea Halloween, Boo 2. Take your boo and go see Boo 2.
Listen,
Scary.
man,
That is
let
scary.
Tyler, let that black man who dresses like a woman, let's let my man live.
Yeah. Tyler Perry providing jobs out here, man.
Yeah, I thought about something from last week. Lamont didn't want us. He didn't want Charlemagne, as y'all say, the great Charlemagne the God.
No, not me.
No.
Lamont says the great.
No, I thought
Stop
you
backing up on Charlemagne. Yo, dude, I ain't doing it, bro.
I ain't mad at I like Charlemagne. I don't know if he's the great Charlemagne the God, but I like Charlemagne. This is my second request to get you on this podcast, Charlemagne.
So what you got, man? Come on. What you got?
So Charlemagne is advocating that white people, who are good white people, in his estimation.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. You're right.
In his estimation, that they call out white supremacists and Klansmen, neo-Nazis, etc., and they call them out with harsh language.
Crackers.
That's what he
White
advocated
devils.
for. That's what he advocated for. Lamont's position was, we don't use those terms. We ain't, we ain't going to do that.
Too aggressive.
It's too aggressive. But let me ask you something, Lamont. I'm sure that somewhere in 1 through 40, you've called Stephen Smith a coon.
Never. I called him a clown. He is. He's a clown. But never a coon.
Didn't you call Steve Harvey a coon?
No, I call him a super clown. He's a Universal Soul Circus clown.
Spud. Can we have somebody go through the tapes?
Yeah, I'm going to fact check. I got to fact check that.
No, I never did that. No, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay, hold on. Let me throw out a few other things. Right. Have you ever called a black man a Tom?
It's funny I called somebody that today. Yes.
Now, do you not think that calling another black man a Tom is one of the most hurtful and hateful things you can say to another black man?
Honestly, it could be, but to me, as I give it, it's not as. It doesn't sting like coon. I don't like using that. I don't like the crack. I'm not with that. I mean, because I feel like me personally, I'm gonna sting you more by not paying attention to you, by not giving you my energy.
You called a man a Tom.
Yeah, I said.
In certain circles, right? If we could label so and so a Tom, that could basically put crosshairs on that man's head.
I got you. I totally get what you're saying, but Maynard, listen, it's really simple as this. Some people eat chitlins and some people don't. People just do things differently. So there's certain words that I just don't like. I'm good on that.
Some people eat chitlins and some don't.
And some don't, and it's okay.
But shout out to Michael Blackson for calling out all the white niggas to donate to Hurricane Harvey. Did you see Michael Blackson's post?
He's whack too.
Yeah,
bro.
he's whack.
He's whack. Yo, dude got whack juice all over, bro.
Michael Blackson said, "I'm calling out all my white niggas to donate to Hurricane Harvey. Robin Thicke, Gary Owen, Justin Bieber, Joseph Sikora, Tommy from Power. All y'all need to pony up $5,000 to give to Harvey. All my white niggas." That was funny as hell.
But Justin Bieber need to go. Justin Bieber's not on the $5,000 level. He's on the 35. He's on the $100,000.
He's on the Kevin Hart level. He's on the Kevin Hart.
Yeah, he's on another. And
wait,
Robin Thicke is on that level too.
Can we talk about Kevin Hart really quickly? And maybe because
Robin Thicke just had a baby though. He might not have got 35.
He got that money. Baby got Obamacare.
That was so disrespectful.
Yeah, that was, man.
That was worse to call him cracker.
Yeah, man.
Come on, man.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Kevin Hart, Lamont.
I mean, I don't know if I was feeling those kind of, the people that he called out to spend 25 G's, I feel like they've been at Live and they've spent like 50 G's. Like, that was like a really kind of low number. Like, Kevin, he got a lot of paper. Like, 25 G's is kind of, it didn't seem like a real commitment. I hear you, bro. But Kevin is in these streets. Kevin got a lot of money, man. Like, so 25 G's is like really piss water to do. You know what I'm saying? So did that really show his level of commitment? You know what I'm saying? The Queen Bee, she just dropped the M on that what she told everybody about. I heard she dropped some other money on some quiet. Like, here, man, y'all take this. Ain't no problem.
Where is she from?
She from H-Town. She from Houston.
Oh, okay. All right. Where Kevin Hart from?
So what you saying?
I'm saying,
I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna call people out, Maynard.
Whoa, hold on.
Don't call them out like, like okay, I challenge you to 25 G's, and then T.I. was like, well, I'm gonna do 100. I'm gonna go to the Red Cross. I'll put 100 up. Now that's a little different than 25.
Okay, but you know what? If Kevin Hart didn't say, "Yo, I'm challenging certain people," think about what he did. It was $25,000 is right. You're right. It's small, but Kevin Hart said it, which is worth more than the $25,000 that he put up. Because now all of a sudden people are taking note, like, oh, he's calling folks out. Do I want to have my name called out incorrectly out here for not giving? I mean, it's just, he lent his personality to it. That's an endorsement. How much do you think a Kevin Hart endorsement is, Spud?
Probably $5 million on the low.
Oh, so so he gave let's just cut it in half. He gave $2.5 million and $25,000. Is that okay, Lamont?
I mean, I feel like you're holding his Philadelphia, Pennsylvania jockstrap right now. So, I mean, I feel like he could have said like $25 and you would have been like, oh, Kevin said it. So it's worth $2.5 million and $25.
He gave $25,000. He lent his persona to the effort. It raised some additional awareness and other people are reacting to it and joining in where they can. Spud gave $25. I gave $25 and a little bit more, but everybody got to go
a little bit more by this time.
Oh, okay, cool. All right, cool. So
a couple hundred at this point.
Oh, well, you got me beat, but that's okay.
Whoa.
Shout out to the box, and shout out to Terry Thomas, and shout out to LaRon and Azim and all those cats down in Houston. Sorry. Anyway, go ahead. My bad.
So he elevated the cause to people who follow Kevin Hart. He didn't elevate the cause for all of America or for all the world, but there's a bunch of people who follow Kevin Hart. And when he says, hey, this is something that's near and dear to me, I hope that you all will consider this, he sparked reaction in a certain community. That's just as important as the $25,000 he gave.
I'm disappointed, man. That's all I'm saying. You're my man. I'm just really disappointed in your opinion because it just feels so disingenuous.
Well, I think it's more.
Hold on. Whoa. Spud. Stop for a second.
He not gonna let that ride. He ain't gonna let that ride.
No.
He ain't gonna let that ride.
We ain't gonna let that. It's not the disrespect that I feel like you sent my way. It's the fact that you have gotten through A, B, and C, and you are midway through D, and you got the disingenuous. That Webster's American Dictionary is paying off, my man, and he dropped that joint perfectly.
Word up.
God bless you.
That's at Detroit Public School, baby. That's Detroit Public Schools.
DPS, baby.
Tennessee State.
Whoa.
All right, we out. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for listening to this Labor Day episode. Y'all have a great week. We'll be back again next Tuesday right here on Three Black Guys with the Mic. Oh, shit.